President Trump's order to raid Venezuela and capture Nicolas Maduro has summoned Congress questioning how far the president can go without congressional approval. Erica Brown is live on Capitol Hill with the latest. Good evening, Erica.
Good evening, Dick. And in a rare show of some bipartisan pushback on President Trump's foreign policy, here on Capitol Hill today, senators moved forward with legislation that would restrict further U.S. military action in Venezuela. It comes as President Trump told the New York Times that the U.S. could run Venezuela possibly for years. Cheers rang out in Venezuela's National Assembly after the U.S. Senate advanced a measure that would block President Trump from taking further military action in Venezuela.
The yeas are 52, the nays are 47.
5 Republicans joined Democrats in support of the bill. They're backed by 69% of Americans surveyed in a new CBS News poll who say the president should need congressional approval if he takes further military action in Venezuela.
To me, this is all about going forward. If the president should determine, you know what, I need to put troops on the ground in Venezuela, I think that would require Congress to weigh in.
President Trump slammed the bill and said the Republicans who voted for it should, quote, never be elected to office again. Republican support of the legislation is a rare rebuke of the president's foreign policy, and he's promised to veto the bill if it makes it to his desk. The Trump administration's escalating push to control Greenland has also sparked some GOP pushback. Denmark's U.S. ambassador and a top official representing Greenland met with senators Thursday.
There's no willingness on their part to negotiate for the purchase or the change in title to their land.
But the Trump administration says Greenland is vital to U.S. national security.
What we're asking our European friends to do is to take the security of that landmass more seriously, because if they're not, the United States is going to have to do something about it. What that is, I'll leave that to the president.
The White House says President Trump prefers diplomatic efforts to acquire Greenland, but has not ruled out the use of military force. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio says he plans to meet with both the leaders of Greenland and Denmark next week. Dick, back to you.
Erica Brown on Capitol Hill. Erica, thank you.